Hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Southern Sorcery on the Sit Down. Today we have an amazing guest. This is Miss Emma. We're super excited to sit down and get to know a little bit more about her and her intro into Magic the Gathering. So, without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hope everybody's doing well. Emma, thank you for being here today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing really well. It's a beautiful day, and I'm happy to wind it down with some magic.
Yeah, it's the best way. It's the best nightcap, I
It
think, is a
is.
little bit of Magic the Gathering.
And
I
some
agree.
Yeah, so the first
bad Dr. Pepper.
yeah, first question is, I think it's the most generic question probably everybody gets asked that plays Magic the Gathering, but we love to hear everybody's stories. So, what got you into Magic the Gathering?
So my intro to magic is actually really funny. I played for about a week, about 11 years ago, and I was like, I hate this. This is the worst thing. And then about 5 years ago, so I've been a streamer longer than I've been a magic creator.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
streamed several main games, and at the time I was streaming an MMO. And I was having a
Mm.
miserable time. And I also really like to be good at things. And I was like, I'm not good
Mm.
at MMOs. I'm not good at MOBAs. I'm terrible at FPS games.
Mm.
What's left? Card games.
There you go.
Card
So
game.
Arena
Yeah.
was in beta. I picked up Arena,
Oh, yeah.
started streaming, loved the community. There's a lot of like women who
Hmm.
streamed Magic at the time as well. And I was like, this is
Mhm.
great. I love this. Like the girlies are here. This is gonna
Yeah.
be fun. And then I was also really good at it really fast. And I was like, yes, this is the this
Nice.
is
This
this
is the
is it.
one.
And I've been here ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, and I saw you were ranked number one in the world on
I
Arena,
was on
right?
Arena. Yeah, I
That's
grinded
Yeah.
for
amazing.
that, and I'm never gonna do it again. It
Yeah.
was
That's a
terrible.
grind. I mean, I'm sure that's like eat, sleep, Arena. Yeah,
Oh,
that has to be all day.
I'm
Yeah,
sleeping like 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though. Um, so speaking on Arena, and I know you do both Commander and Arena, obviously, but like, what is your preferred format for Magic?
My favorite format is actually Pioneer. We just got
Okay,
finished with Pioneer RCQ season, which was really fun. Now
cool.
we're in Modern RCQ season. I actually just played an RCQ yesterday
Nice.
in
Nice.
Modern. So I do kind of keep up with the current competitive paper format. Um, Commander is actually my least played
Okay.
format
Oh,
for the most part, but I do like it for the social aspect
Yeah, I was
of
gonna ask. So,
getting
is it your
together.
least played, and is that also because it is your least favorite as well, or is it like you just don't get the opportunity to play in a pod all that often, or is it just like I take it or leave it?
It is actually my least favorite to
Okay.
play. I like consistency. I like 60 card decks with four
Mm.
ofs. 100
Everyone,
cards kind of
the
screws with my math and it's
mhm,
weird.
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
but I love the social aspect for Commander. It's a
sure.
great way for me to get together and hang out with my friends.
yes.
And I even
Multiple
like it a
people can
little on
play.
the competitive side too. So I've dabbled in like CEDH and
Sure.
everything, which is
Yeah,
fun, and that's how I prefer my Magic. But yeah, Commander for me is mostly purely social.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that makes sense. It was built to be that. You took a
Yeah.
two-player game and made it a four-player game so that you can involve some more people. Winning isn't always the objective. So that if you're a competitive person, that totally checks.
Yeah. I love winning. Love winning.
Mental note for later.
yeah, yeah,
I do, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That's cool though. I like that. Modern, my local game store guy, he's trying to get me into not modern, but Legacy. He's begging me. So like, and I know, and I used to play a long time ago, and I just kind of quit. When I came back to Magic, I exclusively play Commander. But that competitive itch is wanting me to like get back into like actually like tournament grinding and like sitting down and like just actually doing the thing again. I've just got to get motivated to do it and spend the money
Yeah.
That's
because
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I've gotten way less competitive the old. I used to be I used to play basketball in high school and some in college, and so I was like super competitive. But I was the guy that like as I got out of shape and stopped playing, like the expectation of me being able to play the way I did before was still there. So then when I didn't live up to that, I was the guy that was like kicking the trash can at the park and like throwing the like I was super competitive, ultra competitive. But kind of chilled out. So I don't know that I would want to pick back up like a competitive thing personally. But Shane kicks my butt when we play like draft or like sealed stuff. So I think he could probably do it.
I've been playing Magic for 20 plus
That's
years.
true
So
too. I've only been playing for like a year and a
versus
half.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just an experience thing. It's a different mindset when you're doing
Sure.
stuff like that. But um, question. This is another fun one I like to just kind of know people with. Do you have a favorite mana color?
I do. It is green, and it's always going to be green, I think. And it's really funny because I look like a Rakdos girl. Like I've
I can see
always
that.
looked like a
Yeah, you got the
Rakdos
black. You got
girl.
the Rakdos aesthetic right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
I
Yeah, the red and
know,
totally.
black. Yeah,
but at heart, I'm a Selesnya girl. I love green and white, primarily
let's
green,
go.
but that's
Yeah,
always typically what I love to play. I
yeah,
love good aggro magic. I like to
Mm-hmm.
yes,
turn stuff sideways.
yep,
Same.
That's where I tend to wind up.
absolutely. Yeah, most of my decks are aggro decks. Even when I try not to build an aggro deck, it
It
still
just ends up
becomes an
being that.
aggro deck.
Yeah,
So
I always
yeah,
anytime the new precons out, I'm like, oh, I like that one the best, and it's like, but that's the same as everything. Okay, it's like, all right, all right. I love my mono white tokens deck. I love my humans deck. I love my elf ball deck. I love my merfolk deck, and all those are just like, yeah, break face.
Yeah,
My constructs
yeah.
deck,
yeah,
yeah, all of it is just like, just super.
That's what I
Yeah, it's
like.
so much
That's what
fun.
I
yeah,
love to play. And I will play a meta deck if I have to. But if there's like
sure.
a tier 2 deck that I like that I can probably get away with, that's like a little aggro, like a little
Hmm.
sneaky aggro, probably gonna be on that. And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna regret
Yeah,
it later. But I'm probably gonna be on that.
that's okay. That's okay. I actually love it when like a tier two deck can kind of like break the like everyone's used to like not playing aggro, and all of a sudden this aggro deck just comes out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, I didn't really prepare for this very well, and now I'm getting stomped in the face by aggro all
Mm-hmm.
day. Yeah,
I
it's
took
just like
5
a
color
feels good.
humans yesterday to the
Yeah,
modern RCQ, which is definitely a tier 2 deck. But it
yeah,
is a turn human sideways deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I did okay. I
yeah.
didn't do great, but I did all right. And I was like, well,
That's cool.
this is my
Yeah,
thing. I will play
yeah.
humans in almost every format if viable. That is another thing about me. Like
Humans
humans
are
Okay,
sneaky
cycle.
humans
good.
are your jam. Yeah.
I love humans.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you play?
the first deck I ever had was the Lenore Autumn Sovereign Precon, which is
Yeah,
the green white humans.
how
So,
fun.
Mhm. Yeah. Next question is also a fun one too because it's just interesting to see where people's minds go for the Holy Grail. But if you could own any card in the game, regardless of cost, what would it be?
So I own actually kind of my Dream Shot card, which I have
Yeah.
a Judge Foil Survival of the Fittest, which is just a
Oh,
gorgeous, gorgeous card.
mm.
Um,
yes.
I have it graded and I have it in,
Oh,
the
nice. Yeah, yeah.
little pack, and I
Yeah.
love that card.
Yeah. What they send. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably
That's
never gonna crack it open,
Mm.
but maybe one
mm,
day I'll.
uh, uh,
It's yeah.
I don't know. That's
I would
honestly that's like a
actually.
savings plan. Like,
Yeah, it's not bad. I would
yeah.
actually I don't own any duels. I would love to own duels just for
Mm.
the sake of being able to put them in my commanders. I have them proxied in commander
Sure.
decks, but
Yeah.
I would love to own a set of original duels. Would be kind of my
Yeah.
next holy grail of cards. And I know that's
Um.
that's basic, literally that's basic.
Basic.
But
It's not basic.
No.
it's
It's
a
I mean.
staple.
doable.
That's not. I mean, like the duels. There's something. I don't know. Sometimes you see, like, you visually see a duel, and you're always like, "Oh, cool, a duel land."
Yeah,
Like, it's just, I don't know. They're really cool. Like,
yeah,
and they've been around since the game. So, like, I like that. I'm one away. I'm one underground sea away, and I'll have one of each, and that's like a personal
nice.
thing I've been after for years now because they're not cheap,
Yeah.
and so
Mm-mm.
yeah,
They're
that's really
not
cool.
like in well, some of them might be, but they're not like in the thousands. I like that they're
No.
attainable, but
Yeah.
not
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's
No.
still an
not
Yeah. And all of
investment,
mine
but
cheap.
are.
yeah, it's not like you're
It
just
is an
gonna walk
investment.
like, can I get one of each, please? No, like no
Yeah,
one's
no,
probably
I'm
doing
not.
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna collect like one at a time, and I think there's a little bit of a draw in that too. Just sort of like picking up a
Yeah.
piece.
Sure.
Hmm. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, especially when you can like go to like a convention and trade. Those are
Mm,
always you kind of like going through the strategy of like who do I want to trade with and like which version do I like more, like, and all of mine are all revised. They're the cheapest versions of
Yeah.
each one and they're all kind of like played, but it's still, I
I
don't know,
don't
like
get
when you
rid
get a duel
of
you're like,
cards. I've never like sold or
oh
gotten rid
really?
of a card,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
You're
so
kind of
I
mass
just
this mass
So
like
just
collection.
you
yeah.
have
Yeah.
just boxes on boxes
Mine.
of
Yeah.
Oh
It's
no.
bad. And so you're like, you like to trade. I really think that sounds like fun, but it gives me
Yeah.
high anxiety as
Oh
someone who
no.
has like never sold a
Yeah.
card,
Never mind.
never gotten
Yeah.
rid of a single
Bring
piece.
someone in to do it for you.
Wow.
Then you don't have to just here's what I'm not playing. Go through this box and just bring me back some duels at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would have to. I would have to do that. Be like, just I can't look at it. I can't.
Hey, that's just a retirement plan. Is all that is. You're
That's it.
just
Yeah.
amassing a
Yeah.
cardboard
That's all it
retirement
is.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Let's
reasonable.
see. Yeah. So you were talking about like content creation. You've done that longer than you've played. Magic. So what got you like? What drew you into like wanting to do content creation?
I have been making content for 13 years.
That's
Long
awesome.
time. I cosplayer actually. I did semi-professional cosplay, and it was
Yeah.
sort of before the boom of Twitch as a website.
Mhm.
And at the time, all of my friends who were cosplayers were like they started streaming here and there, and I was like,
Yep.
Seems cool.
okay, I guess I need to do that. That sounds like fun. I had a decent social following just for cosplay on it was still Facebook at the time, like
Mhm.
Facebook pages.
Yeah. I
And
remember. Yeah.
everybody started streaming, and I was like, okay,
You're
cool.
talking to a Zanga kid over here, so like your live journal, MySpace, like Facebook is like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's new still to me.
yeah.
In my mind, it's somehow still new.
But I really liked streaming. I felt like live streaming was the place I wanted to be. And eventually I moved and I wound up with a lot less space to build cosplays because I was building pretty elaborate stuff. And I had a small apartment and it was becoming really
Mhm.
critically impossible to do that. So then my content largely shifted into streaming. And my
Yeah.
first game I ever streamed was League of Legends, and I played a lot of League.
Oh,
I still
nice.
play League actually, but that was sort of where it was. It was like all of my friends are doing it, and I was
Right.
like, okay, and I
Yeah.
loved
Why
it.
not?
I'm still doing
Yeah. That's cool.
it.
Yeah, I think it is fun. It's something like when we started out, we didn't really stream much. We just did
Hold on,
video,
I
like
can't hear
YouTube
you. Hold
videos.
on, did I lose you?
I can still hear
Can you hear
you.
me now?
I bumped my headset. My headset died.
Oh no. Check, test, mic, 1, 2. Are you there?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Nice.
That was right. I'm gonna plug it in. This. Hold on one.
No
No
problem.
worries.
Okay, I just missed the whole last thing you said.
Oh, no worries. I was saying, when we first got into like our channel, we just did nothing but YouTube, and
Mhm.
then slowly shifted towards like live streaming, just because of like honestly like the audience interaction, like live interactions and stuff like that. Really fun. Like I enjoy it. And then we've met way more people doing the streams than we have just through like normal video creation. So
Yeah,
it's a
it's
really like tight knit community.
the community aspect of the streaming
Yeah,
is nice.
It is,
it
and
is.
I don't know, how much audiences care about this kind of like industry table talk, but streaming for me is by far like the worst ROI, but the most fun.
Yeah,
It is
so
like,
Yeah,
we
I would agree with that. Yeah,
we have not received a payment from our Twitch yet, which is fine. We didn't start it for that. We really
yeah,
started our Twitch to be able to like because we were guesting on other people's
yeah,
streams, and so like and then it was like the same 8, 10, 15 or so paper commander streamers, and so we had been on their all of their channels several times, and that was all great, but like there's way more people guesting than hosting, and so it's like,
mhm,
okay, well, I've met a few people here, a few people there, but like there's a ton of people that like I see on these streams, and like I'm never gonna meet or hang with them unless we happen to meet in person
yeah,
or happen to end up on the same person's stream at the same time. And with Shane and I guesting together a lot of the time, that only leaves space for a host
yeah,
and a third guest. Or sometimes we would have streams that have multiple hosts, so then there's no chance of me. So it's like, let's start
yeah,
doing like a once a week thing. We don't care if it gets big or like whatever is fine. We just want to use it as a vehicle to be able to invite guests on so that we can meet and hang out with more people more consistently. So
yeah,
that's been really fun.
yeah.
yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm like
Yeah.
my streams are all solo content for
Sure.
like arena grinding,
Right.
which is different. But even just meeting like my regulars who always come
Oh,
by
for
and
sure. Yeah.
they find so much value in the streaming side and like the 2 nights a week that we all hang out for 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a stream night, yeah, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that interaction. I think that's what you get out of live streaming. That is really special.
Yeah, I think
Would
so.
agree. Yeah. Absolutely. So you had a goal in mind. You got to the number one rank. Do you have any like current like big goals that you're working towards right now?
So this is the first season that I've like really pushed the RCQs. I
Yeah.
would like to get an invite to the naming conventions for whatever the tournament system is right now is still confusing to me because we used to have PTs and now we have RCQs and I think we have PTs again. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I want to win an RCQ to take an invite to the
Yeah.
next thing, and it's probably not going to be this season. I think I need probably another season of effort. And unfortunately, it's going to be standard after it's modern, and
Mhm.
Mm,
I'm maybe worse at standard, but it's okay. We'll get there. I think I need a season or two in order to sort of take that invite, but I think that's something I'm going to work towards as a
Nice.
just as a personal goal for competitive magic.
yeah. 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 Standards a lot of copy and paste. Like if someone's doing something really well, like you want to kind of find that as well. That's what makes standard tough. It's like I don't know. It's so much like meta decking, but at the same time, it's like you have to constantly be finding the tweaks to that deck, and you've only got this pool of I don't know. Like that's my also if I was gonna say a format that I'm probably the worst at, it would be standard for sure.
Yeah, I play a lot of standard because of arena.
Mhm.
But I
Sure.
also hate buying into paper standard
Mhm.
because of rotation, so
Yeah.
it always
Yeah.
feels bad to
Yeah.
me to
You talking
buy
about a
in.
you talking about a return on investment. Yeah,
Yep.
it's that's the worst.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that is
yeah.
um, but I'm just getting back into the competitive REL type environment, and I'm a bit of a nervous player. I have a lot of anxiety around
Mm. I mean,
playing
it's a
competitive with
nerve-wracking
Yeah,
people.
game.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I would be like like sweating, like
Yeah.
like even when we draft, like it's just not a fun experience to me. And a lot of it is probably just because I'm so new at it, and like I've literally drafted twice or maybe three
Yeah.
times, and I've done like two sealed events. One was a two-headed giant event that was with Shane, so that was easier because like we were playing together. But yeah, like I would be like, like so I
Yeah.
could totally see, and I'm competitive too. And like even in basketball, it's like I would be like before, like once the game started, I get into it, but like like the hours going up into like
Mhm,
am I gonna throw up? Like how's this?
mhm.
Yeah, it's very nerve wracking.
Yeah, so that's why I need a couple seasons. It's like I think I can play at that level, but I need
Yeah.
Oh, for
to
sure. Yeah, you were number one in the world. Yeah, you could play in any competitive space.
raise my hand and yell judge, and that's a that's a decent amount of confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
So I'm getting there. We're getting there. But I like the idea of winning the ICQ, and then I also like the idea of just building my personal confidence around
Sure.
competitive play and um,
Those are
magic in
those are both
general.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
those are
sure we're
both
gonna
really
get
good goals.
into like goals and like what I do also, but also when I go to these events too, I'm still like the only woman. I'm the
Sure.
only
Yeah,
girl
I feel like
playing, and that's kind
Uh,
of a lot too to like raise your hand with
yeah,
your girl voice and be like, "Judge," is a
yeah.
little scary. So
sure.
I'm building that level of confidence in my own
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, that sector has seen probably the slowest amount of like I think diverse growth. It's still the same people it was probably 20 years ago. I think
The
it's just
same
because
sweaty
it's not that
grinders.
it's not as open, it's not as nice as
Yeah.
like, hey, come play Commander. We're all nice, having a good time, and it's very easy to kind of slide into that. Where the competitive play, if you're introverted or if you're a little reserved, like it's tough because you kind of have to assert yourself because if a misplay happens and you're too nervous to question the person, like they're just gonna let it happen. So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're right, it does take seasons of like getting used to this, and like yeah, I totally agree with you. It's it's due for an overhaul. But kudos to you for like getting out there and grinding it because
I
it's
do
not
love
easy.
it.
It's expensive. Yeah, that's awesome. I hope you win. I'm gonna back you 100%. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheer. And we're cheering for Emma this season. Yeah,
Yay! I appreciate it.
absolutely. Um, the next question, this one's a funny one too, is all of us have non-Magic playing friends, I'm sure. And so like what do they say or what do they think of when you like, yeah, I'm a Magic streamer or like I'm going to these events and playing this card game, like what's their reactions usually?
A lot of my friends do actually play card games, of some
Okay.
variety. I'm friends with a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players as well, so they kind of
Oh, nice.
understand. I guess the best reference is like my parents who still don't.
Really get
I've
it.
tried to teach them. I've taught them about Magic, and
Yeah.
it's really fun too to like watch my parents puzzle through games. Because my dad is like, "Why can't I play all of the lands in my hand right now?" It just
You can
doesn't. He
only
can't.
do
He doesn't
one.
understand. I'm like, only
Yeah.
one per turn, and he's like, "Why?"
He's like,
But
man, wait a
why? And I
minute.
was
The
like, "Good
rule.
Yeah.
question.
That's the
Good
Yeah.
rule.
question, father. I do
Yeah.
not know."
Yeah. Judge, like, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're supportive but confused.
I think that's about all you can really expect and ask of parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna you're gonna take time off from your job to go do this thing where like you're sort of getting compensated for like.
Yeah, I think because I did cosplay before, my parents are pretty understanding because that was also weird.
Sure.
Um, that was
Sure.
also strange.
Like, wait,
Um,
what?
some
Yeah.
of some of my girlfriends who are very like not gamers, which
Hmm.
is totally cool, are occasionally very confused. But also, one of my favorite anecdotes is this girl that I went to college with, who I am fairly close with. She said she walked into her living room one day, and I was on the television because her husband was watching my stream
Oh.
Oh,
about
nice.
magic, and she was like,
Huh.
"Why are you watching, Emma?" And they had moved to Seattle, like, we weren't even living in the same areas anymore, and
Hmm.
she was like, "Why are you watching, Emma?" And he was like, "What do you mean, why am I watching Emma?" And she was like, "I we
I'm
were
friends with her.
we were, like, best friends in
That's so
college." And she was
that's
like, "I don't really
awesome.
understand magic, but, so and now we live nearby again, and we often go out, and she does not know very much about magic, but she's like, "I know you have a stream, and my husband watched you, so, like,
You must be
cool, I guess."
But
you
like,
must be doing something.
Yeah.
yeah, that's like a full circle moment. That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
That
it was
yeah,
it was
that's
fun.
neat.
So, most people are
Yeah.
pretty accepting, even if they are
Yeah.
not quite they
Sure.
don't quite
Yeah, they don't quite get it.
understand.
Yeah. It's not their
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not
I
their
think
thing.
I've said this in every interview I've done, but most of my friends and coworkers thought it was actual like tricks, like rabbits. That's what I do. It's on. So they're
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
god.
show me a trick," and I'm like, "It's not quite that kind of magic, but
Ew.
maybe if I can
Close.
combine the two, that's the secret to
That's it.
like taking off."
That's how you
Like
get good
yeah,
at the competitive space with
yeah,
standard.
Yeah.
You
Cards
yeah.
up the sleeves.
yeah.
Sleight of hand. Yeah, yeah. Turns out I did have that force of will. It's like,
Oh.
oh, like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is more of a commander question since most of these sets are specific for commander, but
Yeah.
is there a, specific universes beyond set you'd like to see?
I actually thought about this question in advance at risk of sounding like really dorky. I have a favorite book series, and my Discord recently is basically just me sharing bad memes. I've forced everyone who watches my stream to read the books because
Yeah.
I'm a crazy fan. And so everyone, all of my regulars, all my regular viewers are now reading the book series and filling me in on their progress, and I'm just sharing memes. And it's called The Locked Tomb. And if that had
A
a
locked thing.
Universes Beyond, I would go bananas. It hasn't been converted to like a movie or a TV show yet, so it's pretty far off of ever being a Universes Beyond. But I
I'm
would
gonna write it down.
I would love it.
I'm a big reader, so I'm gonna write that down.
If you like sci-fi fantasy,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Do
real
yeah,
good.
I do. Yeah, I just got through. Well, no, it's not done yet, but um, gosh, why am I blanking so hard here? Words of Radiance.
Okay, I haven't read that
Um,
yet.
yeah. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's got. I mean, I would say it's probably still more fantasy, but it does sci-fi element. It's been a
Mhm.
really good read. But
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that. That's a unique
Yeah.
answer. I think so far we've gotten Marvel, and then My Little Pony. No, was it My Little
It
Pony?
We
I
already
was.
think yeah,
had
that was what it was.
MLP though. We had MLP car Secret Lair.
Yeah, but they wanted a whole like Universe
Yeah.
Beyond
Oh,
dedicated
or
to
was
it.
it
Yeah.
Care Bears? Maybe it was Care Bears.
No, it was
Care
Care
Bears.
Bears.
It
That's right.
was
It was
Care
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 Bears would
Bears.
Bears.
be
It was
cool.
Yeah.
Care Bears. Yeah.
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 I
I
confused
would
the
kind of
two.
like
Yeah.
to see Universes Beyond. It's mostly been movies. I mean, Lord of the Rings is movie. It's been a lot of like televised media. I think it would be really cool if we got some more like literature or pure
Yeah.
comics or history. I don't know.
It'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Just
Like
move sort of
history elements.
beyond contemporary televised media into some
Yeah.
other genres. I think would be really cool for Universes
I
Beyond.
agree. Yeah, I think the coolest thing about the Assassin's Creed one was the fact that like the games, and the games had this too, but they had like actual historical figures in them, so you could like,
Yeah.
hey, I just pulled a Leonardo da Vinci, and you're like, what?
Yeah, that
What?
is kind of
Real
cool.
person? Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
That's
feel like
real.
I'm like
yeah.
world religions universes beyond would be like really weird and cool and controversial,
Oh
but
yeah.
that would be
Oh
kind of
yeah, that would be man,
interesting.
that'd be a hot pot of things. Like yeah,
Would
for
be a
sure.
whole hot pot. But
Yeah.
I was just talking about another card game that was like world.
Uh-oh. Frozen.
The loser.
Know the name of that card game.
Oh,
Um,
hold on. We lost you for a sec.
okay, are we back? Oh, I was saying
There we go. Yep.
I was thinking of a card game that is religion, religious figures based. But it's not like particularly reverent. And I can't remember the name of it, but it is a real card game. And someone in the comments is going to know the name of this card game because I have forgotten. But that would make an
Oh, so you'd
interesting
have like
universe
you'd have
beyond.
like Buddha and Jesus
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
all
Oh
these
man,
elements of like
It's
different religions.
it's
Gandhi.
real, and I was just talking to somebody about it today, and it would be controversial. Yet
Oh,
I don't know. I would think it would be kind of cool.
it'd be
It
interesting.
would
Yeah,
definitely be.
absolutely. Yeah,
Historical and mythological figures. You could do like
Oh yeah,
the Greek
the Greek
Greek
gods,
gods.
and
stuff. Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Anyway, that's
Yeah.
my off the wall idea for
No, those are cool. I
universes
like those. Those are
beyond.
unique answers. Yeah. Is there a singular person or maybe like a group of people if it's commander, or just heads up magic? Is there like a Mount Rushmore for you or someone that's like the top of your list? I want to get a game of Magic in with.
I've never actually sat down and played a game of Commander with Lua, and I would love to play Magic with Lua. We run into each
Yeah.
other all the time, and we've just
Just never
never
made it happen.
actually played Magic. We
Like
talk,
just
and
busy
we're like,
schedules.
hey, how's it, and hanging
Yeah.
out. Might have even had dinner together, and we've literally never played a game of Magic. So I have
Are
Lua really high
they
on my.
is Crybabies East Coast or West Coast?
I know Tori is East Coast. I think Lua is East Coast as well.
Okay. Maybe they just like did some
They're
episodes when
like
they were out
north.
west, but I was thinking that they were East Coast.
Yeah, I think they're north. They're both
Okay.
northeast, I believe.
Well
So,
then, yeah, then that might not be, that might not be too far off then in the future.
no,
Yeah.
I really think I just need to ask Lua.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like,
Yeah,
hello,
that-
can we
I'm sure-
play
yeah, I'm sure she'd be down.
Magic?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And then last question, and this is a fun one. You just kind of shouted out, what's one thing you want people to know about Magic or what you're doing within the community or anything you're trying to share, just the spotlight is yours, kind of a last question send off.
I just want the girlies to come to the stores and play Magic with me. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
My whole thing is always just like kind of be visible in the community, and I was not the first one. There were tons of women, tons of girlies before me out there, which is why I felt so welcome in the
Mhm.
content creation space for Magic. But local game stores are
Yeah,
still a
I
little.
agree. Yeah,
Our commander, we do
1000%.
Commander at
Yeah.
the local game store actually on Friday nights, and it's getting
Better.
pretty good. Like
Yeah,
the
getting better.
ratio.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah, but the
Oh.
competitive space is still not there. Frozen again
That's cool. Did I lose you?
for like
Just a sec.
maybe
You,
like
at the
10
last part, you
seconds.
just said,
Yeah. No, I just
And
said it's
you
like I
said
gotten in pods with other women,
Yeah,
randomly paired, and that's really, really
that
cool.
is
But
cool.
the
that is cool.
comp REL
Mhm.
events are it's still kind of
Yeah, the
just me
competitive
right now.
space still just a bunch of sweaty
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah,
Yeah, and I just want the girlies to Magic,
Yes, definitely.
please.
yeah.
So you heard
Um,
it here. More girlies, go to Augusta and play with
yes,
Emma.
play with me. I will. I wanna. I'm actually working with some local communities to do like teaching commander nights, like
Oh, very
ladies'
cool.
nights, or
Yeah,
CDH
Yeah.
kind of thing,
sure.
like
Yeah.
teaching
Yeah.
commander. Maybe at like the local brewery or something that has established game nights. I really want to do stuff like that
Yeah,
because
maybe
it's
not even in
It's
an
awesome.
actual LGS. Like
yeah,
you can play Magic anywhere.
you totally can.
Yeah.
And I will bring all my commander decks and I will teach you how to play poorly, but I will try. I'm a
Nah.
terrible
Hey, that's
teacher. No, I'm actually a terrible teacher, but I will play.
that's the competitive side of you. You're just teaching them
Yeah.
like not as well, so you can't
Yeah,
always
on
beat them. So
purpose.
they're just
Yeah,
You're just handicapping them. No big deal.
I'm a very frustrated teacher. Like
Oh,
I
I
got
okay.
know
you.
that about myself. That's okay. But I will still do
Yeah.
it
Right.
willingly.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Emma, thank you again so much for taking the time to do this interview. A lot of awesome questions and answers that you gave. We're going to have her stuff down below, so please seek out Emma's channel. Go give her a follow on Twitch so you can have some awesome 3 hour nights of streaming with her. Sounds like she's got an awesome community on Discord as well. So if you're into books and magic, sounds like there's a nice place for you to go hang out with some other like-minded folks. And then if you're a girly out there wanting to play magic, hit up Augusta. She's going to teach you.
Will.
Well, thanks again so much. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.